Okay, so how is everyone doing tonight? For the new people, my name is Elisa Mardigan, otherwise known as the Mom Boss Coach, and I welcome you to my group. And let me just look at everything and make sure it looks okay before I continue. Hello, Francine and Rebecca and Estefania, thank you. Does everything look okay? Okay, yeah, I don't like where those things are. Okay, hang on, let me click to expand. Learning a new piece of software is sometimes hard. Okay. Okay. All right, I think this is good to go. Hello, Madeline. Okay, thanks, Francine. Awesome. Okay. Okay, so so tonight we are talking about how to handle the most common objection on the planet, the I have no money objection. And you would actually be surprised when I tell you that oftentimes that is just your first knee-jerk reaction to say that, but it doesn't really necessarily mean they don't have the money. It most likely means they don't have the belief that they would be able to make this opportunity you've presented to them a good thing for them. So that is oftentimes why people say they don't have the money. So the thing is the irony of the situation is that most people are open to looking at a network marketing business, but because obviously they need more money. But then most also use that same excuse, the lack of money excuse, as a reason to not get started. So yes, they want to make more money, but it's almost like they don't have the self-belief that they can make money. So they just automatically say, oh, I don't have any money to do that. So we're not going to sit there and say you're lying, obviously, because we don't really know their financial situation or anything like that. So we can't say that. And and I'm sure we've said the same before. We have no money. So what do we need to do? Well, first of all, in order to close a sale and getting your prospect to enroll, it depends on you hitting 3 different things. Now, this isn't the 3-step system that I'm going to share with you, but it kind of is. Like it's kind of along the same lines, but it's money, authority, and desire. So if you're missing one of those then you've got a little bit of work to do. You want your prospect to hit all 3. So money, authority, and desire. So let me explain a little bit about what each of those means. So the money, okay, so you need to figure out where your prospect is with each one of these, with the money, the authority, and the desire. And once you get used to doing this and talking about it, you'll become more efficient and successful at enrolling people into your business. So here's the good news though. A lack of money, that objection is actually the easiest one to overcome, provided your prospect truly wants and desires to get started with your opportunity and they have decision-making authority. Because I'm going to say that probably the next one behind I have no money is I have to ask my spouse or I have to ask my partner or whatever. That's probably the second most common objection. So so this is how you do it. So let's say, and they not only need the be able to make those decisions, they also need to have the desire. The desire needs to be a big motivator. So they want to have the desire to achieve those, to make more money. Sure, a lot of people will say, I don't make a lot of money or I need more money, but they don't have the desire to actually go out and do something to change that. So they need to have that as well. Okay, so you've come up against, I have no money. This is what you can do. Now, privately, just to yourself, not out loud, decide that you're not accepting that as an excuse. The I don't have money objection isn't really ever about the money. It's about them expressing doubts about whether they can actually do the business. Okay, because most oftentimes, at least I know when I started, they don't have a clue what it all entails. So that's their thinking right off the bat, well, what if I can't do it? So if you believe them though, like if they truly like have no money, they can't pay, that they're risking their electricity being shut off or no food for their family, if it's that dire, then it may stop you from just going any further, and then you can just say, let's keep in touch, and if your circumstances change, then perhaps we can figure out a way for you to find the money to get started so you can make money. But if they've come out and said they are like starving or whatever, don't push it any further at that time. So, but what you want to do is, well, let's put it into perspective. How many times have you had a friend or someone say that they can't afford something, but they eat out every night, or they buy a Starbucks, well, I don't even go to Starbucks, so like, I don't know, one of those mega $5 grande lattes, whatever they are, every day. Well, let's take that for instance. Say they buy a $5 Starbucks latte or whatever it is every day. That's $35 a week. So they're basically saying their desire is not as strong as their self-doubt. So the desire to make more money, it doesn't surpass them doubting that they can do it. So, or they're saying my desire isn't strong enough yet to put some of my money towards this opportunity, or my desire isn't strong enough yet, but I'm willing to figure out how to find the money to get started. Okay, so it can be translated into one of three things, and to be honest, all three of those. The desire isn't as strong as my self-doubt, my desire isn't strong enough yet, and my desire isn't strong enough, but I'm willing to figure out how to find the money. Those can all be worked with. So, let them know that you understand their situation, because you've probably been there too. And revisit the conversation about desire and use these words. If we could figure out a way for you to get the money that you need to get started with me, are you open to spending some time on finding the money, on figuring out ways to finding it? So basically you're asking them, if you had the money, would you be jumping in? Okay, so if they are open to spending time to find the money to get started, then you can ask them some following questions. What do you spend on money on each day or week that you'd be willing to give up temporarily till you get the money, so that you can put that money towards getting started? So like I said, the $5 a day Starbucks thing. Okay, that's easy. Most things to get started are what, $2.50? So that would take you what, a month? Okay, maybe not. My math sucks. I don't know. Won't take you long. Okay? So then the other thing is, you can say, if this is important enough to you, if you truly want to see change in your life, can you get creative and find the money to get started? Now, after asking that question, and if they say yes, you have to set a deadline for that goal, because otherwise they'll just, yeah, I know I have to find the money, but if there's no date attached to it, they're not going to do it. So, you can go on to explain, hang on a minute. Okay, yeah. So if you know that your compensation plan is pretty decent, and you could sort of average it out and say, okay, let's say the starter kit was $200, and then say that to stay active in the program, you need to sell $200. And say like I said, my math isn't good. Say they sold, okay, so if they sold one starter kit at $200, let's just say. And the percentage, I don't know what a good percentage is. Let's say what, 10%? That's only $20. Well, let's just say, I get you'd have to figure it out for your own company because every compensation plan is different. And the one I'm in right now, the compensation plan is if you sell this much to this much, you get this much percent. Then when you sell this much to this much, your percentage goes up. So every compensation plan is different. So you'd have to figure that out. And then you can just share with them what the average time is to make the initial investment back. And then they start making money. Okay, so, and a lot of times, if this applies to your opportunity, because you don't want to lie, your new team members should be able to recoup their initial investment within the first month or two. Okay, but again, it depends how hard they work at it. So just don't let the "I don't have money" objection just say, yeah. Don't let it make you say, "Oh, okay, I understand," and hang up. Don't do that. So what you can do is tell a story and ask a question. So when that comes up, the "I don't have any money," most likely that was your struggle too at the beginning when someone came to you and asked you. Your first instinct was, "I don't have the money." So tell them that. Tell them your story. Explain to them that. Now, if this doesn't apply to you though, use someone else's story, like maybe someone on your downline or your upline was in the same position. So you could say something like, "Yep, I was in the same boat. I didn't have any money. I was really getting stressed. I didn't know where it was going to come from. And then my friend introduced me to this product and I loved it so much. It worked. I decided I wanted to share it with everybody and I decided to hop in and do the business." And then go on to explain how the timing that you perhaps got your initial investment back, and just say like how much it has helped over the period of time that you've been in the business. And if you're not quite there yet to be able to share a story like that, then use somebody in your upline. Use their story. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't have to be your story, but just use a story. And then after you say that story, you ask them a question. So, oops, where'd it go? So then you could ask the, I lost my paper. Well, you could ask them that question. Is it like important enough for you to do something about it? Like, is this important enough for you to do something about it? Okay. Then, oh no, well, yeah, like not just that, but just say if it was important enough to them, would they find the money? Could they find the money? Like, and you can even bring in an example of other things that people find important, that, you know, and that they do find the money for. So if changing their life and making more money is that important to them, they will find the money. So you can out and out, after you tell them your story, ask them that. Is changing your life and making more money and being less stressed and having the money to do the extra things you want to do, is that important enough for you to try to find the money to join? And there you go. So tell a story, ask a question. Now the 3-step system I learned from, well, I've heard it in a few different places. So basically it's called qualify, plan, schedule. So, okay, you've been going through your spiel, you gave them the presentation or whatever it is that you give them to look at, and then they've told you, "I don't have the money." Hang on, I'm just going to see if there's any questions. Hello, Tishana. "Oh, Rebecca, your husband sold baseball cards to start your business? Well, that's freaking awesome. Oh, cool. All right, you better buy him a good present." Okay, so where was I now? Now you made me laugh. Okay, so now you've been hit. You've gone through the spiel. You've been hit with the "I have no money." you could say something. Now use your own words, your own style of speaking. And I know a lot of us are doing this through Messenger. So after the initial 2 or 3 exchanges typing, you can then go to audio, like to recording your voice. Because that also helps build rapport as well. And they get to not only see your picture, but they put a voice to the picture. So you could say, okay, well, so-and-so, I totally appreciate you sharing this information about having no money with me. I totally get that. But let me ask you this. If you had the money, would you say, let's get started? I see a great opportunity here and I want to get going. So am I understanding that correctly? If you had the money, you'd be getting started with me today. And then you wait for them, their answer. You can also take it a step further by saying, if you're just telling me this because you don't see an opportunity for yourself, but you don't want to hurt my feelings, it's okay. I can handle it. Okay, so and then you say, I just want to make sure that if you do see an opportunity and it's just the money holding you back, well, I can help you come up with a plan to get that. Okay, so the plan is your second step. So here you're qualifying. Is money really the issue? Do you really see an opportunity? Because if so, I can help you find the money. I can help you come up with a plan to find the money. So that's qualifying. Now, if they out and out say, no, I don't see an opportunity, well, you've qualified them and they're no. So then I wouldn't go any further. Okay, so now you're into the planning. So your prospect really does see the opportunity, because most people actually do, but they really don't have the money. So then you can ask them how far off they are for getting that money. Like, say the kit's $500 and say they have 300. So they're $200 off. So, and then you can ask them how soon they could have the money. So you're wanting to try to help them come up with a plan to get started, to find the rest of that money. So now here's another story. You tell a story about someone else, or even yourself, like Rebecca with her husband, although that's kind of extraordinary. That's the first time I've ever heard a husband doing that, but whatever. So, so you could come up with the money. So tell a story about someone else, how they maybe came up with the money over a weekend by doing yard work for a neighbor or two, or how they sold some things just lying around their house that they haven't used in a year on Facebook Marketplace or on Craigslist or Kijiji, wherever it is that you sell, even eBay. So you can tell them a story, and at the same time, it's giving them ideas on how they can get that money. So then you want to say, how soon do you think you can make this happen? So I want to put this on my calendar, and then you can put it on your calendar, and we can circle around and reconnect. So here you're putting a goal, date, so that they just don't keep putting it off. And I've heard Tony Robbins say, if you don't plan it, it will never happen. So if you don't plan it and write it down in your calendar, it's never going to happen. So then you say, let's get it planned so you can reach your money goal, and then I can welcome you into the opportunity. Don't miss this last step, the scheduling step, because then you won't enroll anyone. You need to make sure you've set this person's second meeting when they think they can reach that goal, so that you don't miss them. Like, if you don't follow up on them and you don't have it scheduled, you're not going to end up going back around to follow up with them. And if you do, well, they've most likely not bothered. So you need to make sure you don't skip this step. Now, you can even go a step further, and again, put it into your own words so it comes out comfortably for you and is your personality. But you can even go a step further, show them your leadership, and let them know that, and let them know that you're also looking for go-getters. So you're kind of setting the tone for the type of person you're looking to work with, and say, if you get creative and reach your goal before our scheduled date, because I'm not going to touch base with you until our scheduled date, reach out to me and I'll get you started immediately. I'll be super excited and so impressed that you figured out how to get it done quicker. So that is telling them that you're looking for go-getters, for one thing. That's planting a seed in them that, oh yeah, I can do this. It's getting them motivated and knowing that they don't even have to wait as long as your scheduled time. So say they've said it'll take 2 weeks and they get it done in a week. Well, now you've given them permission to reach out to you, and they can get started even earlier and start getting their initial investment back earlier. So it may be hard at the beginning to do this, because I know your first instinct when someone says they have no money is to believe them. But you yourself know that this is going to help them. And it's hard to... We're not serving them if we accept that as an excuse, because then they are never going to have more money. So you have to stay postured, boss up, don't be weak. Be the leader, okay? Be the leader that you want to be, and show them that this is a great opportunity for them. Now, granted, they also have to like the product, okay? Like, I don't think anybody will join if they don't like the product, or if the product can't help them in what they're needing help with. So let me just check some comments here. Madeline says her daughter posted something the other day about taking some envelopes, write a number on them, and put that amount of money in the envelope, and before you know it, you have the money to join. Yes, actually, you know what I did 1 year? I only did it 1 year, though. Starting January 1st, this was actually to help me for Christmas presents for the following year, but starting January 1st, I put $1 in. January 2nd, I put $2 in. January 3rd, I put $3 in. So every day of the month, okay, but how did this go? Now when we hit February, so it works good for January. This was a few years ago that I did it. So when you get to February, you're not going back to $1. You're going up from, however, is there 30 days or 31 days? Say there's 30 days in January, because I can never remember. So you'd go for February 1st would be $31. So yeah, and I did it. I don't think I missed any days. And yeah, I mean, that'll give you way more than what you need to join a business. But yeah, that is an awesome idea. That's great, Madeline. I'm going to borrow that. Hi, Ashley and Jutta. I'm sorry if that's not how you pronounce it. Please, you could actually message me, audio, and tell me how to pronounce it. Okay, so does anyone have any questions? That's about all. I mean, there's tons of other objections, but this is the main one. And I do go into more detail on scripts and other objections in my course and coaching program. So if you want any information about that, just throw down comment info, and I can send you some info on that. That's just one part of my course and coaching program, are the objections and the scripts, how to stay in posture, especially if you're on the phone, because at least if you're on Messenger, you have a little bit of time to think about it before you reply. But if any of you do it on the phone, and or like Messenger audio or Zoom, you have to answer right away. Like, you have to respond right away. So it may take you off guard and you're not quite sure how to respond. So this will help you. And don't be scared, because the more you do it, I mean, you might mess up the first handful of prospects, but once you're doing it and saying it and coming, it'll work. It'll work. It just takes practice and consistency, like anything else. And then, I mean, you could use a little bit of this as well for other objections, but I've got other scripts for some of the other ones. Like, what other ones do we have here? Oh, I'm not a salesperson. I like that one, because, yeah, me neither. So you're at 5:20. Oh yeah, okay, Jutta. Yeah, no, you're not too late. You can watch the replay anyway. I'll send you the link. Okay, so I am not a salesperson, or I don't like sales. So what you would say about that, just real quick, because I have to go on to another meeting soon, is you would just say that's great because we don't want salespeople. Because no one likes salespeople. Like, you don't want to come across as that sleazy salesperson, right? And oftentimes as well, if you are a salesperson, you can't, it's like you're not coachable for other methods of selling. You have your way of selling, which most likely is not a good way for network marketing. And you're not coachable to learn other scripts, other ways of doing it where it's not, where you'd have more success because people won't be put off by you. So, for sure. So that's another objection, a common objection. I don't have the time is another one. I don't like auto ship. Well, some companies have auto ship that you have to do every month and some don't. So and some auto ships are minimal and some, it just all depends. Most bigger companies are pretty good. Oh, I like this one. Doesn't need more money. Yeah. Who doesn't need more money? Anyways, so if you want to hear about my coaching program and course, just shoot down info in the comments section. And I will see you guys next Monday. If you want to also join me Thursday for the Rank Makers Live recap, that is not going to be in here. It is a special webinar that I will be doing on Zoom. So if you go into the announcements section of the group, you'll see the link there to register for that. So if you are doing that, I will see you Thursday. If not, I will see you next Monday. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye-bye.